Let's go. Hello, my name is Bryce Tubbs. With me today is Richard Roppa-Roberts. He is the founder of Quasar Cowboy and Roundtable Labs. I'm so excited to be able to have this interview with him. It's been a number of weeks inside the making because he's a very busy person. So we're super excited to have him. Richard, can you please introduce yourself and just tell us a little bit about what you do?
Oh, yeah. I could go on for hours though, Bryce. So just forewarning there. But no, I'm Richard Roppa-Roberts, and I have been in the accounting industry for about 15 years. I started my own company back in 2015, and that was Quasar Cowboy. Quasar Cowboy is my coaching side where I work one-on-one with clients, and that lended itself to creating Roundtable Labs. Roundtable Labs is the one-to-many site. I work with folks in Roundtable to create a community environment. We have multiple little cohorts of up to about 20 people in each of our different roundtables. And then we have one giant, massive cohort where everybody is involved. Everybody is an accounting person, all CEOs, founders, and solopreneurs of their companies. We like to keep it that way. So it's founder talking to founder, solving problems, and helping people do what they do best.
Awesome. And for the Roundtable Labs, how did that get started?
To be very honest, by complete accident. So I was very busy as a coach in 2015. I had more prospects than I could keep track of, basically. And I thought, what am I going to do? I've got 6 people waiting in the wings to talk to me, right? And so what I did is put them all in one session, and Roundtable was born. Everybody melded together very well. We kept on topic. It was originally supposed to be just a discovery call to see where everybody fit, and it was born. And then we actually invoiced for the first year as the Unnamed Roundtable Project, because we didn't even have a name, because it was never in my business journey. It wasn't in my plan. So about a year in, one of our founding members came to me and she said, I figured out the name for our roundtable. I said, oh, tell me. She said, not the only one. I went, that's kind of weird, but I like it. Tell me a little bit more. And she said, it's because I'm not the only one who's been there. Somebody else before me has solved the problem that I'm dealing with today. And that's exactly the philosophy and the tone that we've taken going forward. We're now up to almost about 200 members in our group. We have about 10 different cohorts, all bubbling up into Roundtable Labs. We have specialty cohorts like Empower Nonprofits, which is specifically for nonprofits, obviously. We have Construction Junction, which is for our construction folks. We also have other ones that are for mindset issues, like Empower Your Passion, different than Empower Nonprofits, but that's about mindset issues, things like imposter syndrome and am I okay to charge this pricing for real? Am I good enough? Those kinds of questions are answered in that kind of a group. And then we have dozens of others. I can name you all of them, but I don't want to bore everybody listening today. But rest assured, at Roundtable Labs, there's probably a roundtable for just about anybody in the accounting industry. We keep not the only one still very generic. We talk about anything and everything practice related. So we never come to the table with an agenda. When we meet, it is literally, what are we trying to solve today? And we solve problems of the moment at people's practices. We never, ever have PowerPoint presentations or guest speakers that come in and do demos. We talk, and we talk a lot, because we talk things out and make sure that all avenues have been exhausted. And we really try to get to what the best practice is for that particular situation, not necessarily what are the overall things that everybody should be doing in this situation, because everybody's situation is slightly different. So we like to hear from all of the people in the room, and we do. It's a
Hmm.
fascinating group. You should check it out, Bryce.
Yeah, definitely will. But interesting question too, then, because you've done a tremendous amount of one-on-one coaching. Which one do you like more?
Oh, that's a hard thing. So I'm very energized by Roundtable. Roundtable excites me. It lights me on fire. I host 3 or 4 of our initial Roundtable cohorts. And coaching leaves me with just a great feeling, because I'm able to help in a one-on-one situation somebody either solve a problem they've been trying to solve, go down a path they've been trying to get down, expand their business, or sometimes just take a day off. So they both have great rewards. Sorry, I don't know why I can't talk today. They both have great rewards, but it's really hard. It's like picking a favorite child. I love them both.
Mm, yeah,
Um, yeah,
yeah, okay, that's awesome.
thank you.
Yeah, and tell me a little more about, like, because you're like a really big figure inside of like the live circuit, right? All the different events you go to, and you're pretty well known. Like how did that come about? Like what got you into even in the accounting field?
Oh, so I do want to clarify. I'm actually accounting adjacent. I'm not a bookkeeper, nor am I an accountant in any way, shape, or form. And I'm the last person that you would want looking at a checkbook for your business. So trust me there when I say that. I actually do have an accountant that runs my accounting. And obviously, I know all the accountants in the industry, or many of the accountants in the industry. But what got me into it was I accidentally, again, accidentally is my key favorite thing in the world. I accidentally fell into a job that was building up a small pro advisor business. They had hit a certain plateau. They needed to grow. I was brought in as a salesperson. We expanded sales tremendously. We had great rewards at that company. And they sent me to my first conference in 2008. Since then, well, actually, since the beginning of my career, I've been to more than 150 conferences, sometimes in the recruiting world, sometimes in the development world, but mostly in the accounting space. And so I just started going to the major conferences. So Scaling New Heights was the first one that I ever went to. After Scaling New Heights, I went to Sleater. Then I went to the Flag Show, which I think has now been rebranded to the, I don't know what it's been rebranded to. I think Accounting and Finance Show in California and New York. And
Mm,
then QuickBooks Connect. And I was thrilled when Intuit asked me to participate in a marketing piece for them for the very first QuickBooks Connect. There were 6 of us that they said, how about if we put you in a car, Big Brother style? And I'm like,
mm,
then I already don't like this idea, right? 6 people in one car driving 10 hours from Palm Springs to San Jose. And the original concept was they were going to vote people out of the car. I'm like, I'm going to get voted out first. I'm not the guy to be in a car like this. Well, they didn't go forward with the voting out of people, but I learned a lot from that, because there were 6 companies participating in that marketing effort, including Intuit. We had a lot of social follows along the way. Somewhere along the way, I also started hosting a podcast with my very, very dear friend, Stacy Kildall, and our partner in crime there, Woody Adams. I
mm,
jumped in, I think year 6 or 7 for the QBO show, which had actually been running. It concluded its run of 10 years sometime last year or the year before. I don't remember the exact date
mm.
that we called it quits. But yeah, that's how my name has gotten out there. I also a long time ago I gave up managing and being the the head dog at one of the bigger Facebook groups, because I just didn't have time to fit it into my world any longer. And that was a that was an absolute pleasure to do. I loved it, loved every minute of it, but I wanted to focus my energies on my own company. And so Quasar Cowboy and Roundtable Labs took off somewhere in, the middle of 2015, and we've been going strong ever since.
That's awesome. It's awesome. Yeah, it's so cool that you've been able to help people out, because you don't only just help them grow their business, right? We had a conversation about that. You help them with their time, you help them with other. Can you like explain like maybe maybe some alternative visions that people have come to you with that they want out of their firm?
Oh, everybody is so different. And I'm going to be honest, I hate being on the spot like that, but I'll do my damnedest.
I'm sorry if you don't want to do that.
No, it's fine. It's fine. So everybody has a different reason that they look for a coach. Some may just feel overworked. They may want a day off. They may want to standardize some processes. They may want to standardize some procedures. I'm working with one company right now where the founder of the firm created this wonderful course and doesn't know how to get it out to market in the best manner possible. So we're working on that. Some companies I help them with their websites. Some I help them get a better class of clients. One of my favorite success stories is one of my coaching folks. She was kind of stuck. She had gosh, I don't remember exactly how many clients, but many of them were in the $200 to $300 range, and she was doing everything for them. And we turned it around, and now she's averaging $3,000 a month with many of her clients, but they need to be the right kind of client. It's not a pitch that she does with everybody. She's learned how to recognize what concierge consulting is, how it works, how she operates in that world. And it's a very, very different world than doing things on an hourly basis, or doing compliance work for $200 or $300 a month. In a concierge setting, like I'm talking about, we worked night and day to make sure that she knew exactly what she was able to accomplish in there. And she treats it very much like medical concierge, where, if you are part of a medical concierge system, anything you need, they provide for you, unless they can't. And so things like x-rays, you still have to go to an x-ray place because they can't just bring an x-ray machine to your house. So that's kind of how concierge consulting started for many people, was by just imagining what are the possibilities. I've helped people start some very successful courses by some very well-known names in the industry. Those courses have led to very successful podcasts. Those podcasts have led to other things that they're doing in the market. I can't take credit for it all. All I did was help them recognize the pattern of what we need to do to make that a reality. Mm-hmm. I firmly believe that most people are just spinning in this. Most people who are like, I wish I had a firm like that, they're probably just spinning inside of their own world, not knowing what to do next, not knowing what process to follow, etc. Lots of things are stuck in their head. One of the other things that I help people do when I coach with them, and one of the very first things that I do, is help them get rid of all those things that have been stuck in their head for 5, 6, 7, 10 years. Well, what if I did this kind of a podcast? Well, you haven't done it in 10 years. Let's step back from that and let's put that off to the side. And let's pretend like it's not going to happen. Now, what are we going to do with the headspace that you've been worrying about getting that particular thing off the ground? Let's look in a different direction and go towards real goals and not things that other people are doing that you're like, that's a great idea, let's do that. And then it sits there. And the reason people don't do them and they sit there forever is because they don't know how to do that, or they're not confident enough to do it. But sometimes they do need a roadmap, and I can also help with that roadmap. So Yeah, my coaching has taken on many, many different forms. I work both with accountants as well as many of the apps in apps.com. So that started about year two for me. Started working with a couple of award-winning apps. The first one was the winner of the I'm trying to remember the name of the award. It was the Intuit App Showdown. They were the winner of the best new app of the year. I started working with them. I loved it. Had a great taste for working with the apps. With apps, it's a very different scenario than working with founding members of accounting firms. In that they often have a roadmap and they're trying to maximize that roadmap. So instead of building a roadmap, we're effectively working through their roadmap, but my knowledge of what's going to work in the accounting world and how they should recognize that, for instance, January is never a good month to send out mailings or flyers or anything if you're an app, not to pro advisors, not the general pro advisors who are mired down in 1099 season. Same thing with CPAs. Why would you ever send a marketing email to a CPA at the beginning of April or April 16th, like everything is done that day? Like they don't need 3 to 4 weeks to recover from the 18-hour days they've been doing, especially in these long tax seasons that we've been having. They seem to be, I think somebody said it best, we're in day 934 of tax season for 2020, which makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Especially in this virtual world too.
Oh yeah.
No one really talks about it, but stare at this computer, especially with Zoom, can just wear you down. So that's
I will say Zoom fatigue is real. I'm on Zoom. That's my preferred method of communication with people. I don't like to talk on the phone. One of the things that I do to combat Zoom fatigue and office fatigue and working out of the house fatigue and all the different names that we want to put on it is I treat my office at my home as an office, as if I was going there in the morning like I did when I was W-2. So pre-pandemic, I used to actually get in my car in the morning. Prior to my first appointment, I would go run an errand, whether it was dropping off dry cleaning or laundry or going to pick up a cup of coffee. It didn't matter. When I walked in the door, I was at work and I treated it like work. Closed the door to my office and I was at work. I still do that to this day. When I'm working, I'm working. And when I'm not, I'm not. And I try to also help people recognize they need to do that. They don't need to follow that pattern for themselves. But if they're going to intermix things like doing laundry because they're working from home, at least put it on the calendar. Block it out so that it doesn't interrupt your day or your flow. And you know that it's happening, and treat it just like you would treat any other appointment right off your calendar.
Okay.
And the same rule applied at the end of the day. I leave the house, walk out the front door, and then when I get home, I'm home. And my office is closed up. Don't hang out in the office when you're not working. Then I can enjoy my house, my husband, my family, my friends, all the things that go along with living your life. I like to keep a very distinct separation between the two.
Yeah. For those of you listening, if you didn't pick up going to and from work, that's a game changer. That's a game changer.
The other thing that I have done, and it's weird, but a lot of people don't quite get it, but a lot of people do. And the ones that do, I really kind of have a love for that. I have 2 phones. I have a weekend phone that has no work on it. It doesn't have mail on it. It doesn't have a calendar. It maybe has Facebook, but I don't know. But it has things that I want for the weekend, like Uber, like Postmates, like all the different things. And only about 5 people in this world have that second number. Because when I started my business, I did what a lot of business owners do. I have my cell phone, and then my personal cell phone quickly became my business phone, but yet it was already intertwined with all my personal people. So there was no way to unentangle it. Unentangle? That's not a word. There was no way to disengage from work, except now what I do, shut off the work phone as soon as I am done on Friday or Thursday or whatever day it is that I'm done. And I don't turn it on again until Monday morning when I need to look at it. I'm a firm believer that there is, there are no such things as accounting emergencies, and there are no such things as coaching emergencies. But, talking about no such thing as accounting emergencies, I hear it from everybody all the time. What do I do to stop people from calling on the weekend? Well, stop answering your phone, first of all. And second of all, put boundaries in place. There are no accounting emergencies on the weekends. The only way that there is even remotely an accounting emergency is if it's dealing with somebody's payroll. Somebody didn't get paid, that's an acceptable excuse. But other than that, we should not be working on the weekends unless it is by choice to work on your business rather than being the technician of your business. That's a great time. That's a great time to work on the extraneous projects that you have rather than working on billable time.
Yeah. Awesome. And, I really appreciate your time today. Where can people go to learn more about you?
People can go to quasarcowboy.com. A lot of people don't know how to spell that, so it's QUASAR cowboy.com. So quasarcowboy.com. They can also Google my name. There's just all kinds of stuff on the Googler about me. So Google Richard Roppa or Richard Roppa-Roberts. You can also see what's going on in my world with my Twitter account, Never Call Me Rich, which basically I'm passively aggressively telling everybody, don't call me Rich, call me Richard. But also you can go to roundtablelabs.com and learn about me as well. So any or all of those places they can find me.
Awesome. Yep. I really thank you for your time today. It's been really great, getting to know you these past couple of weeks. Can't wait to see what the future holds. I think you guys might be seeing more combinations of us in the future in some kind of capacity or another. So very grateful for this connection. And for those watching, hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully you learned something new. I'll see you inside of the next episode. Talk to you guys soon. Done recording in 3 and 2 and 1. 1 sec.